This is a special 100th episode stream that we did, so it's a little bit different than usual. It's just Yen and I. We kind of went through our back catalog of episodes and talked about some of our favorite moments, some of our favorite guests, and then to end off the episode, we answer some community questions. So I can't believe it. This is episode 100. It's surreal to say out loud, still kind of coming to terms with it, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone that's been supporting us as of late. Especially, we've been really feeling the love that you guys have been giving the show, so we appreciate you guys so much. Yen and I, you know, we're not trained interviewers, we're not trained podcasters, we're just kind of winging it, and it's been cool to see that people have been there through you know, us trying to adapt, get better, make mistakes, the growing pains, all that stuff. So appreciate everyone who's been along for the ride so far. If you guys would like us to do more episodes like this one, also just let us know in the comments. We can always do some extra episodes here and there, but either way, we'll see you in the next 100. Someone further up was asking if we met online.
We did, actually.
Yeah, I mean,
not really, but kind of.
Can you explain the context?
I can. In the beginning of my channel, basically a few months afterwards, started picking up traction, and Dom wrote to me because I announced with horrible English that I would start a Discord channel. And by horrible English, I mean the same that I'm speaking now. And he was just nice enough to be like, dude, if you need help and everything, I would like to, to maybe contribute. I like what you're doing and everything. Just a nice message. And he was nice at that moment because prior to that, he was ghosting me. But that's another story.
Important context.
Important part, I wrote to him way before my channel, like a year before my channel, because I saw him doing an interview with Angel Maker, and I loved Angel Maker way freaking back. Like I was since I think Godless, is it the song? No, not Godless. Sure. Is that it? Yeah. And I saw an interview, and there was not a lot of interview in it, and I recognized you because I knew, depths and everything. So I'm like, dude, I love the interview, love what you're doing. No response.
And I saw it too. Left him on red.
Yeah. So just hated me. And then
ADHD guys, just to be clear, ADHD.
Kind of won his respect with my channel, and then he replied, no, but and then he's just like, if you need help, but then we up on a call. I don't think you guys are going to be surprised by that, but I don't remember. It was probably like an 8-hour calls or something.
Yeah, we did a 7-8 call. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, and it was kind of instant. I think it didn't take 7 hours. It took me like just, I don't know, like maybe we were talking for like half an hour, and I'm like, should we do something instead? Like, I mean, like, where you love all the same things, we have the same passion. It wouldn't make sense to me. And the funny part is, I had no clue what to do with it, but I was like, I would love to start streaming. You seem to enjoy that. And we didn't even know at all that it would be an actual podcast. It was just like, let's work together type thing.
It didn't start that way either.
It didn't. And it didn't with a freestyle streaming, barely any concept, just us being here and talking with people. And some of you guys know that because you were there. And the most probably important conversation we had was just like, we should make it an actual thing, and we should focus to, do something that's more concise and more structured, that makes sense to invite people, because we started inviting guests kind of in our streaming. Like, we would be streaming like that, and like, oh, at 10 o'clock there's this person coming, and just like just freestyling like that, right? So, and I think we did a few guests like that. It wasn't only one guest. Like we did
2-3 guests, but I think so. I think the main thing is like
in one. I just want to precise that we did 2 during the same stream. So
yeah. But I think the main thing, the shift towards the podcast was really, we started doing these interviews because I don't know. I had done some interviewing before, and we knew we had some concepts. We're trying to figure out some ways to make it something more like concrete. We tried doing segments where we're like, okay, every stream we're gonna do like a segment of something, some tier list of something or whatever. You know, we were trying to do different things, and then eventually we had a guest on, and we had a good time with it. So we were like, okay. But then as we were inviting guests, all this to say, when we were inviting guests, I had a hard time explaining to people what our thing was. I was like, hey, do you want to come on to our stream to maybe talk? You know, we might be doing some things.
Same thing for me. Like I didn't.
And that's when for us it kind of ran an alarm bell. We're kind of like, we need to kind of there needs to be a concept or something here.
We started talking. It just made sense. Then we started a Discord, and the funny part is, he's not like technically my YouTube channel is like my channel, but ever since we started working together, like all the advices are like, should I make a video about that? You kind of were all since that moment were, I would say, implied in most of what, because I would be like, oh, I wanted to make that and this and this. So you would be like, I don't know. And it truly, it would have been probably a lot of different videos.
Shut down ideas.
Yeah, but a lot of ideas that I'm looking now, I'm like, yeah, that would have been kind of shit, you know? So it's cool for me because keep in mind, right? English is my second language. I started a channel and I had no one to just be like, you know, or I had people, but that knows nothing about it, so it's not really helpful. But to have someone who not only knows these bands
and knows English, though, the two
so
things.
Exactly. So for me, it's really reassuring because it's like sometimes you have a concept. And it could be just a concept that it's like in my mind, it's pretty, but who knows? Now I think I know more what could work or not, but for the longest time I would be kind of just, I don't know, and just to have someone sometimes to be like, hey, you know, stop worrying about you saying that in the video, no one's going to care about that, it's going to be fine. It's really, you know, because I don't want to be that guy. I'm not like Mr. Beast or someone who has like that many people, but to post and know that like still thousands of people are gonna watch your thing, and you're fully aware that you could potentially say a sentence that don't even make sense. It's just reassuring to be able to have that kind of thing. So we started working together on many things since then, and a lot of stuff that I do, I sent it before, and I'm like, what do you think about that? So we started working on pretty much everything together by then. And the podcast, honestly, just the proof of concept of that alone and all the moments we had since the beginning, it would be foolish to even think for a second that it, you know, that we didn't have something there, right? Like, so it's been, I'm gonna say it like that, it's been a blessing. Like, I'm speaking for myself a lot, but like it's been a blessing because like mine is blown on a daily basis with that podcast. Like quite honestly, like we finished the show and our genuine reaction a lot of the times is just like, what happened? Like last week when we got
to talk about last week because that's still blowing my mind, man.
It's insane, you know. Like you can talk about it because I've been rambling for like an hour at this point, but like you can say what happened because I'm guessing a lot of people were not there to witness that. But
yeah, I think to piggyback on what you were saying, a lot of moments where, you know, conversations that we have with people that we have no right to really be having conversations with these people in the first place will often end up leading into places that these conversations are taken into a direction that we couldn't have predicted, and it's always super fucking cool. And a lot of the time we're kind of like mind blown after the fact, and we, you know, as you guys can expect, we oftentimes stay on the call together after stream for another few hours, so kind of talking things through. But yeah, last week, dude, we were like, hey, let's do a watch party for the first time. We hadn't done it before. We're like, let's just listen to the Psycho Frame album when it drops. Could be fun. I know, other people are like waiting to hear it as well. And we always get asked like our opinion on stuff. So we were like, okay, let's just listen to it like with other people. Why not? Because the reality is we would have been listening to the album at midnight regardless. So turned the stream on, did that. But we announced it like the day of, and I just had Mike from Psychoframe be like, yeah, I'll be chilling or something like that. He's just like writes that sort of comment on our social posts on Instagram, and I hit him up and I'm like, hey, here's a link, open invite to anyone to come on. You guys can come in for a minute and say hi. You guys can stick around. Like, no, you guys do you. And then this was all like an hour and a half before we booted up the stream, and then we turned the stream on, and Hunter's in chat, and Hunter hits me up and is like, hey, shoot me an invite, I'll join. So Hunter joins us immediately, and then half hour later Mike joins in, but Mike joins in with the rest of the band because they're starting tour and they're all together. And then at midnight, we fucking press play on the new Psychoframe album, but with the entire band watching with us. I always feel bad for them. They're listening to their own music, and then they hang out with us for another like hour and a half afterwards to kind of talk about the album and just fucking bullshit. It was just, go for it.
Can I just add something to that? Like, just for context, because I'm guessing maybe not everybody knows that Hunter don't do these things. He just doesn't. Like, he honestly just don't. Like, he's extremely busy. He's dealing with a lot of stuff. His time is extremely, I'm gonna say it like that, his time is extremely valuable, and he pick and he has every right to. And him not only joining, staying the whole time, I was like, what is like even like happening, answering questions, being kind and nice, and laughing with the band, and being genuinely stoked and happy. I couldn't, no, of course I appreciate all the band, but to me, I just want to also mention that like Hunter, like it was, not to say I was like emotional, but I was just like, wow, I cannot even. He could have been there 10 minutes, right? And just, and it would have been fine. So
absolutely, or not chimed in at all,
or not at all. Yeah, exactly. So it was touching for us, and also extremely funny. And I even want to meet them more, especially Coulter, in real life, because it seems to be quite a show in itself. So but honestly, it's the kind of things that me and Dom, we finish the show, and then instantly when we go behind the scenes, we're just like, what happened type thing. And I know it's gonna be the same for tonight, because I'm already thinking that. But it's something that we've been, every week I'm thinking, like, because I have my challenges, not to make it about myself, I promise it won't be too long, but like I'm doing way too many projects in general, just for context. But the podcast has never been something on my mind that close to negativity or anything. It's always been just like, let's hang out.
We've had a few things. Not between us or anything regarding
but it was funny more than anything at the end, right? So it's it's nothing.
I stressed a few times, but yeah.
True, maybe some little stress or a little let down, but like overall, it's, when I think about the podcast, it's just wow, it's just
overwhelmingly positive and
exactly. That's the right,
easy to navigate ultimately. Yeah.
Passionated, yeah, that's the so it's it's insane. But like the Psychoframe thing, like I went, even after our talk, like I was in my, and I was just like, I cannot believe it, like how sick that was, like how amazing that was, and how amazing the album actually was also. So
look, I know it's kind of like a weird analogy to make, but because we do a podcast, so like I can't take that away, but I was kind of just looking at it from the point of view, like, we're just two fans of Psychoframe, right? Like, I see ourselves as just these two random dudes that just really fuck with Psychoframe. And then it's like any other person was listening to the album, and then the whole band decided to listen to it with them. I don't know. It's just it just doesn't
right
make sense
after
to me.
doing it.
Like,
They just did it like a couple of days, and they're redoing it like right after, you know. And also, dude, they're about to tour, like they're on tour, you know. Could
oh
have
yeah,
like they're probably exhausted.
They were in a hotel room. They had just driven for 12 hours that day. They literally could have celebrated the release of their album any other way, and one of those ways could have been just like passing the fuck out, you know. Wouldn't have blamed them for it.
Yeah, so there's that. Thank you, you know, Pat. Red Rabbit is saying you guys do a lot for the deathcore community. The funny thing about that, and I would be curious to see if you feel the same, but like, I'm not saying we don't, but it just doesn't feel like we're as excited to meet those people and to do all of this every single time. Like, it's great, and it's a big it's high praise, and it's amazing, but every single time, I don't know if you feel like that, but I'm always like, well, it's, you know, we're just enjoying ourselves and doing all of this, right? So it's crazy, which is great, which is, I think, the best of both worlds. But every time I see that, I'm always like, well, I mean, technically, but we you know, we show up and our mind is blown most of the time. So it's just, you know, it feels like a privilege is what I'm going to say more than anything.
We see it as a treat as much as anyone else, right? Like, I feel like we're kind of engaging in like the interviews the same way I would engage in listening to someone else have that interview, you know, like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's, I feel, and I know you feel like that. I feel I could be someone in the chat for those things. Like, I just, you know, if somebody else would have done it and we wouldn't be doing it, I would love to be part of it, you know, even if I'm a poser. But just to see, I'm gonna answer, because it's been, I think twice Syke said like some nice stuff about that. I really appreciate seeing that my YouTube channel is your main entertainment, and I help you discover bands, and he's thanking us to build like this mini family, as he's saying it. Appreciate you. That's legit. I'm just gonna say that the few times I've been like emotional reading comments, it's that, you know, as opposed to what the haters thinks. That's, it's not what I'm getting hate. It's when it's making me laugh more than anything. But when I read those comments, and when you know, because same thing with the podcast, right? When I do my channel, for me, I'm a dude making video about stuff that I like, right? But I often forget that it still provides, you know, entertainment, and you discovered some bands that I'm vouching for. I love those bands, and I'm glad people are discovering them. So thank you. And same thing for the podcast.
That's my whole reason for the podcast, is like, well, if people, there's like a documentation side of it. Like, it's like, for me, it's like, you know, I know a lot of these stories haven't been told. I know a lot of this info, even if it did exist at some point, it's like unfindable now. I know there's a whole new crop of people getting into deathcore that want to know the history, but they have nowhere to look for it. So that's like part of it. And then the other part of it for me is like, just, I want more people to enjoy the bands that I enjoy. Like, those bands bring me so much joy. I know they would bring joy to other people, right? So that's like my main thing. If anyone finds out about a band because of anything that we do, I'm like, hell yeah, that's sick. Because all these bands that we talk about are bands that we genuinely fuck with. Like, we want more people to listen to these bands. And that's the whole. That's kind of like my reasoning for, I guess, the podcast specifically, you know.
Yeah, and got it. But I'm gonna say Psycho. Though, to be fair, you cannot expect me to pronounce anything right. So there you go. Bones also. I want to read this because honestly, it's a really beautiful comment. I followed this scene for 20 years. I've been to countless shows and met many of my idols. I've seen legends of the cultures. Am I saying? Okay, yeah. Legends of the culture playing small venues, and just a couple of dozen people before, because it's really I have a hard time before they hit it big. Last week was a top 5 favorite moments of mine in all these years. Was truly amazing. Thank you guys so much. Oh, that's cool too. I became deeply invested in your YouTube channel because I'm a huge Myspace deathcore fan, and I felt so connected, and like we had a common interest we could easily nerd over. That's the whole point of it. Also, to me, I always wanted to feel, and I know, Dom, you heard that many times, but like, especially in the metal community, there's a lot of people who are gonna comment on metal and stuff like that, but make you feel like their opinion is maybe superior or the right one, and people listening to that. I made it a point with my channel to, yes, it's going to come across pretty clearly that I love shitty recording and 2006 in general, sure. But I always made it a point that, like, it's fine if you listen to other things, right? And some stuff I'm wearing Blink-182 shirts and stuff like that. And sure, people could call me a poser, but like I make it a point to feel comfortable about sharing stuff. And we do the same thing with the podcast. You know, it's even in our rules and in our Discord, you know, like it's important for us that sure we can nerd about all these things, but like there's never going to be a deathcore band you bring up and we're like, oh yeah, but that's kind of like lame and it's not really like, it's just not all we know, but like it's ridiculous. Like to me, it's just stupid, you know. So
you're fishing for people to dish out examples in chat right now.
Could be. It's okay. But yeah, no, the important part for me, and it's gonna sound cliche and super cheesy, but like just I'm happy when I see people being themselves and there's no rules and it's such a made up thing that somebody is cooler than somebody else, and it's so subjective that like it's almost funny to me, that concept. So you know, same thing with the podcast, the channel, everything. We make it a point that you know, just be yourself, you know, who cares.
Okay, let me pull this up here. And then we can kind of go through the episodes. Yeah, funnily enough, the first episode that I want to say we did, but it wasn't we did. The first episode on the channel is just with me. we started off the podcast on not with you for some reason.
I no clue. I could, for the life of me, I don't remember I just think I couldn't. I don't remember really what happened at all. But you know, it's dark.
Yeah, I think we maybe like, I don't know. We were like, okay, let's do it every Wednesday type of thing, and that just so happens that Wednesday you couldn't.
Something like that.
Because we hadn't actually started it. Now it's easier because we can like easily be like to all our other commitments and be like, I'm not available on Wednesday nights because I have a podcast. But I guess at that point that wasn't a thing yet, right?
Yeah, like it was just, yeah, that's kind of what happened. Like just to make sure
you had a shoot or something, and it was like,
yeah,
you had
as it's starting,
yeah,
something like that. True. Okay, makes sense. Makes total sense.
So that's so that's a bit of the lore, I guess. Yeah, we started the show. Oh, and then the other kind of side lore is that if you go to our Spotify or Apple Podcasts, the first episode on there is that Angel Maker one that you saw on YouTube.
My god.
The Angel Maker, the interview I did with Mike a year prior, I just transformed my old podcast page into the Brutality podcast page.
I forgot about that though.
So it's like listed as like a bonus episode, as like if you scroll all the way down, it's the first episode ever. It's that one.
Wow.
So that's
I didn't know
some
that.
trivia there for the people.
I think I just forgot. You probably told, and I just kind of forgot it. But that's awesome.
We were talking about Hunter. He was our third episode.
Still can't believe that. I still cannot believe
right?
that.
It's like, I don't know, man. It's again like, and he hasn't done an interview since. we turned him off from doing interviews permanently.
Yeah, maybe it was like that was horrible.
Yeah,
I think we did it, and we were not still the podcasting. It was kind of in the stream.
No, exactly. Yeah. So we were like, hey, Hunter, want to do this stream thing that we do that I can't really explain what it is. Do you want to do it? And he was like, yeah. But you had set that one up because you had been doing a lot of promo for Psycho Frame because you really fuck with them. And you had been talking about them and doing some reels and stuff on your Instagram. And I think that's how you guys kind of like initially connected. And that was kind of like just from there, right?
Yep. And I just like out of the like, and just for context also, I didn't know if he was like, I was just like, let's just try it because I wanted to. And it's still blowing my mind because you know that like I keep forgetting that I have like a certain visibility. So for me, it's kind of not that it's worthless, but like I do that and I'm just but to him, like now with perspective, he was just like, you know what? you know, they fuck with what they love what I do and stuff like that. Like he knew he was real, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't just kind of someone just like, hey, Psycho Frame is cool. It's just so, but still now my mind is blown that he did that, like that early on. I still
episode 3, and look, also for context, guys, like we are both not interviewers by nature, right? Like we don't come from a background of doing interviews. We were still starting to know each other, you and I, you know, just as people in general, and even more so in terms of like conducting an interview together. So a lot of these, and you know, we could go long about how far into the library we feel this way for, but especially early on, like our interviews are pretty fucking dog shit. These interviews are not the best interviews, man.
You would have to pay me so much money to rewatch any of that. Like honestly, I'm not kidding. Like I would, like sometimes I click and I kind of see like, and I'm like, I can't. Like it's fine. It's fine. I think it's good that we feel that way. It means there's an evolution and we understood things. But like back then it was more, it's kind of just like kind of a chilling, and it was more of a kind of a conversation without really any structures and stuff. So it's every time we look back, because like you said, I think we did that for a while. That's the problem that I have, but nonetheless it was still cool. Like the interview was like super fun. Like Hunter did, like it was very interesting, and from my memory also really funny in a lot of parts. So it was great. The one after that one was sick too. I mean, it was cool to be able to hang out. I think we two, right? Not only one person. I think it was like the Slamwich.
Slamwich? Yeah, we did Frankie and why am I blanking?
We're both there.
And Andrea.
Yeah, there you go.
Both of the gals came on, and that was, I think that one was the same day we did Leo from Brand of Sacrifice.
Yeah.
They like came out separately, like there's like a gap, like it seems like we did Hunter in between, but from what I remember, we did Leo from Brand of Sacrifice for like an hour, from like 7 to 8, and then at like 8:30 we did Slamwich, like right after.
Yep.
Which is kind of fucking insane. I would never do that again. I think we learned our lesson pretty fast.
Oh dear God, yes.
We were fried after that, dude.
Oh man. Like I slept like a lot. Like honestly, I slept a lot afterwards. Like it's easy for me to like, if I want to sleep a whole time, and let me tell you, after that, I like a good, and I'm not kidding, like a good 13-14 hours sleep after a nap, something like that. Like I was just like, I'm gone. Yes, that was fun.
We don't got to go through like each and every every episode. We're kind of just skimming through here, but I mean, I think Belie My Burial was cool, just because I think for the both of us, that's like such an iconic fucking band.
Really. Yep.
So and he hadn't really ever done an interview before either, so it was like cool just to be able to talk with them in that capacity. People are shouting out Mantikore. That was a cool interview to do, a like particular scenario, because I remember I was listening to the I was listening to the like 3-song demo thing that they just put out, and I was like, I really want to have these guys on the podcast. And then right as we were thinking this, they announced they were breaking up. And I was like, wait, no. So it was like now or never, you know?
Yep.
So that was one of those things. I was like, well, you guys are playing like a final show in like 2 weeks. Do you guys want to come on the show like next week or this week, whatever? And
it was a fun one too.
It was really fun. It was cool. Yeah. We're not fans anymore of doing episodes where like multiple band members are on at the same time, but that was surprisingly a fun one for that. It was different vibes for sure. I think the first time we did it where it was like a kind of like a full band that was on, right?
Yes, because we did like round table, like other kinds of things, but I
Mm-hmm.
think, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
but not
might, yeah.
early on. Like I think,
Oh, true.
like
It was later
Slam,
on. Yeah.
like Slamwich, they were two, but then everyone else it was solo episodes. But then this was like a full band thing. They were like 4 or 5
Yep.
on the episode. Pat's asking about the big chocolate one. We kind of that was a cool moment for us too, because I think
For
again,
sure.
both of us are like such big fans of Disfiguring the Goddess and Big Chocolate, and at the very least, like acknowledge like the huge impact that dude had on the scene back in the day, right? Like I remember really fucking heavily with everything he was doing back during MySpace. So to have him kind of come on the show and talk about, I Declare Goddess and stuff like that, like we're like talking about all these iconic things, that we, wouldn't have otherwise kind of heard about. And that was how long? Oh yeah, this one was like a three hour long one. We talked for a
And
minute.
I agree with Low Point. Like, I really loved hearing about the cam every day with
Yeah.
Mitch and stuff like that. Which for context, every single time Mitch is bring up, it could be me bringing him up, or if I'm listening about, like, you're gonna see me just being super happy. But to have, because Big Chocolate was an actual like close friend, so like tons of great stories and cool things, and also
Yeah.
just all the conversation about him being kind of before his time in terms of like
Yeah.
vlogging and everything. That was really really fun. And just
Mm-hmm.
he's such a nice guy too, like just a cool, interesting person that kind of like me, if we don't stop we could go for like 15 hours
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Well, I mean, case
So
in point, Johnny's talking about 45 minutes about milk. That was in the second one we did with Cam, which turned out to be longer than our 3 hour 12-minute one that we did initially. So yeah, we a lot of yapping has been done with Cam for sure. We love Cam for sure. Johnny Plague. I mean,
oh my god,
that's
it
kind of fucking
was
iconic too, right?
incredible, except maybe the video quality.
I
That's
still hate myself for it to this day.
It's but to be able to talk with Johnny, like, people, you guys need to understand that I was talking with Johnny Plague about The Office. Like, for the anybody who knows me, like,
Yeah.
it's like
Peak.
peak everything.
Yeah.
Like, and we're talking about the fact that before sleeping every time we put The Office on. It was insane. And to this day, sometimes he sent me The Office stuff. So like it's like it's so
Yeah.
sick. So great one. Great one. Nine Dead was fun as hell too. Like, just like, I remember being it really funny with the boys and everything. It was a cool one.
Those guys are fucking hilarious. We love the boys in Nine Dead. Tim from Within the Ruins was a really cool interview because he also hadn't done any interviews, I think, at all since not being in Within the Ruins. There's like a few people that we've had that's kind of like been the case, and Tim was a really good one. And him opening up, because I kind of asked him about his last show with the band, because he knew when it was his last show with the band, and kind of like what that was like. And he opened up pretty emotionally with us on that kind of moment
Oh
for him
wow,
and stuff.
yes.
And that was a really, really cool ending to that episode. I remember coming out of that episode being like, whoa, I didn't expect it to go there.
I know I don't want to say all of these, but like, I'm seeing Chris from King Kong. It was really important for me. I was about to say from King Conquer. It would be fair to say from Buddy Snatcher, but like, to me, to be able to talk to freaking Chris, I was like living for King Conquer back then, and him as a person, I'm like a fan of this person specifically. And it was a really fun one. I don't remember all the specifics, but I remember being so stoked when that was booked. And it was a fun one too, right? Like, it was a fun one to hear about it. So I wanted to point it out. And I know, okay, it's gonna be very controversial. It's gonna be controversial. Okay, I don't come at me if you want. But for me, the fit Mckenty was extremely important. Like extremely, I cannot stress that enough. Really important for me because it was prior all the backlash and everything that happened. But you guys need to know that still it doesn't change that. When I started my channel, I had two inspiration. It was Finn and it was Cozy. And very early on, my Imure video was one of my first video, and he started commenting on my stuff. Right, I love what you're doing and stuff like that. So to be able to talk to him specifically about deathcore was super sick. And it was important for me. So I know it sounds controversial now, but to be able to talk with literally the person who inspired you to start a YouTube channel is pretty damn cool, so it doesn't change that it was cool, and a lot of views on it too, so that's
we did Cozy too, right? I think we did both those influences, right? We did both both the OGs.
That was pretty crazy. For people who don't know, for context, like Wicked and Cadaver is like, if it's not like my favorite band, it's like really up there. I've been listening to their album the entire week. We keep saying that it's really underrated. The purple, like the pink one, I've been listening to that the whole week. Don basically became a friend of mine, but like we made it happen, and when we started the podcast, I'm like, that's the interview I really want to do. It's really important for me, but not only that, it was really fun. Dunn was like really cool as a guest. Still to this day, Waking is still in my, even if people are like, it's not deathcore, I don't care. There's breakdowns in it. It's sick. It's really good. And in case people didn't notice, if you've been following me on Instagram, pretty easy to tell that my vocals are mainly influenced by Waking. If you didn't pick up on that, I'm really sorry, but like that's fair. I make it, I think, fairly obvious. So important episode for me. And I know you were stoked too. I make it all by myself, but like
no, you were shitting bricks.
Yeah. I talked about it so much. I was saying all my friends, like, it was insane. And one of my good friend loves Waking so much too, and he was like, get the fuck out. Like, he was like, you're gonna have done it, but like, it was a big deal, like a really big deal. So there you go. So I had to, that's gonna be it for that. But yeah, it was important.
No, Don, and I mean, he was just such a cool fucking guy. That was just like all around a really cool conversation.
A real dude.
Again, it kind of go back on the fact that like a fucking legend from the Myspace era, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Right, like to talk about those things from back in the day. For me, I'm like, oh, that's the juice for me, when we talk about that stuff.
Another moment with my channel too, like a couple of days after posting my Waking a Cadaver video, like he commented on it, and then they posted it on their page. Like, it was one of my early, I would say, wins that I was like, yes, super happy. So just, I don't want to say that, but
this was kind of like stacked back to back. Like Scott Ian Lewis from Carnifex, Chris Garza right after, Zach from Elysia, we have Ricky Hoover. Like, I mean, what a month.
Insane. Ricky, super important. Like, obviously, I cannot shut up still about Suffokate. So like, and we've been talking to him. Like, he's just like a good dude. So it was fun. But yeah, just for context, like, and also of course Scott. Like, we're gonna have to redo something. I'm realizing now, I mean, a year ago, we're gonna have to because they've been crushing it. We need to have Scott once again. But just for context, because I would like maybe you to talk about it, because I've been talking for so long. But the Chris Garza was not only a milestone, but also a moment for us. Like, it's an important step, I would say, in the podcast and how it was. I guess I could say how it came about before you explain, because that was kind of funny. Just to tell you guys how awesome Chris is and how down to earth and awesome he is. I'm playing freaking disc golf with my friend. I see a message and it's written Chris Garza, and his first sentence is, "So you guys start a deathcore podcast and you don't invite me." That's his like first sentence, and I'm like, what? Like, and then I think that's what it was, right? That's what he said, I think. And And then super easy. I just tell him, I'm just being honest. I'm like, well, we were kind of waiting for it to be bigger. And then and his answer was just, nah, fuck it, dude. Like, don't, who cares about that? Right. And he made it happen, and super, super happy. And then I'm going to let you say what happened. But it was,
I mean, for us, you know, you speak about Finn and about Cozy when it comes to your channel. For me, for the podcast, and I think for both of us for the podcast, you know, Chris is I mean, he is the only other dude doing deathcore in a podcast platform. Like, you know, there's some people that they'll have deathcore bands here and there amongst the rest of the metal stuff, the metalcore stuff that they also mostly cover and stuff like that. But like deathcore focus, like, and sure, now, you know, Garza's kind of expanded into a lot of other genres and other things. He's been doing some black metal,
which is awesome,
like which is cool. But again, like, just back to when we were doing this with him, I mean, he was mostly just doing deathcore, and he was like the guy who did deathcore interviews, and we were kind of coming in like, hey, we're just like the other dudes. So we took and still take a lot of inspiration from Chris, because he's grown a lot and over the years doing his podcast, and he, I think, does like a fantastic job as a host and as an interviewer. So we're always kind of checking in on the things that he's doing. Obviously, Yan and I, we listen to most of the episodes that he puts out, kind of regardless of who the guest is, and we always kind of come to the same conclusions. It's funny. It was, oh, did you realize Chris did this, you know, did this thing during this day? And, you know, we try to kind of take cues and stuff. And then, of course, I mean, the dude's in fucking suicide silence and has been since the fucking beginning. So it's like, you know, it's like one of those things. It was extra cool for us for both of those reasons. And then obviously, I mean, the thing to talk about is near the end. This always happens at the end of episodes. I don't know if it's a comfortability thing. I don't know if that's a word, but, you know, people get comfortable after an hour and a half of yapping with us. But, you know, he opened up about specifically Mitch's passing, when it happened, what he was doing when all that was happening, and how that all unfolded, and kind of the aftermath of that. And that was, you know, it's the one episode that during the stream, I was just a lot to take in. So I guess I didn't know how to, you know, you're kind of just stun locked, but watching it back when I was doing the edit, like I cried editing the video back. Yeah. Which is, you know, that just kind of speaks to the stuff that he was talking about. But that was like, that's just like we can't ever, you know, that's a once in a lifetime kind of conversation that we had with him, and I'll always be super fucking grateful for again, as you mentioned, you know, for him taking the shot and doing this podcast with us. This was like episode 24, I think, for us, some shit like that, you know. So yeah, man, it's I don't know what else to say about it, but what a cool ass fucking dude, man. And
if I may, I know I said it early tonight, but like I'm seeing we have like 60 people. Just for context, like I'm the by far probably the content creator who talks about Mitch Locker the most. I don't think it's close, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's not even close. To the point where I'm starting to get comments of like, we get it type thing, and I'm like, well, you're still gonna have videos about him. I couldn't care less. So to have Chris specifically, not like we're talking like his extremely close friends talking about all these things, to me was like blowing my mind. You know, I was like, just to hear and all about that. And then, oh yeah, if I wear it, I don't care. I'm fanboying. For the rest of my life. I'm gonna be 70 and I'm gonna be like Mitch Locker. Like I couldn't care less. It's fine. I wouldn't even have the life that I have now, I don't think, if it wasn't for Mitch. So there you go. But, and also, not to make it about myself, but when Chris looked at me, I had no idea he ever watched anything I did. And to see him and being like, I watch your stuff, you came a long way, you're getting better at it. I was just like, it felt like that, you know, in 99 Brooklyn, when like Olds is saying something to Jake, and he feels like it's his dad saying he's proud. same kind of thing. I was just like, what is happening? So there was those to me, like those layers as well, kind of coming in. So to your point, I think during the episode we were kind of mind blown the whole time. So that's kind of why we didn't get like emotional at the end, like on the moment. It was just like all blowing our mind, you know. So so there you go. Yeah, Yen is the child of Garza and Mitch. I mean that could it kind of make sense. So yeah, so just to add to that.
We gotta rip through these, so let's kind of just choose a few. Go for it.
I would mention Blind Witness for the thing that like I don't want to take all the credit, but they're back and they genuinely told us that doing this interview gave them and reconnecting and everything. Like I think we're still talking, but like about music.
No,
not even.
No, that was the.
Okay, I forgot about that. Okay.
Them doing the podcast, because they both, Max and John, came on to the podcast, and they did it in the same room, and it was the first time in years since pre-COVID, I think, that they had actually really talked and been in the same room together. And that kind of sparked them making music again, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. And they're still, I mean, now they're doing shows, you know, when they can. So it's blowing my mind because they were and still are like a very important band, you know, like, and especially, I mean, they're from here too. So like they're really important here as well. So, and I've been, by the way, seeing people send me messages saying, were you aware that they're back? I'm like, I'm kind of, not to sound arrogant. Kind of. So that's that was, and it was a cool one too. Like the episode itself, like it was a fun one. So there you go.
I've seen Max a few times at shows since ironically enough, the one underneath is Peeling Flash. When Peeling Flash last came to Montreal, I spent the night with him because we were both solo, so we ended up spending the night together at that show. And I saw them when they did their first show back a couple of hours away from here in their hometown. I went to that, so that was a cool moment to kind of witness to in front of a festival crowd. So it was fucking jam packed, and they were fucking great. So yeah, man, long live Blind
insane
Witness.
People are pointing out the band Mason. It was insane. Like it was really fun. That dude is funny as shit, and to this day when I do vocals, sometimes he's like, how do you do that shit? Like you send me messages sometimes for that, which is a big compliment because I love what he's doing. But and maybe I lost his respect when I said nails, who knows? But it's really, I'm kidding, but like it was a fun one. So good point. I think we have to mention Kyle because he's important to us and to the podcast real quick. It was a fun one. He was showing us all his merch and everything, so it was crazy. And then he did put us in contact with bands to help the podcast and everything. So big shout out to Kyle. He's always in our corner and he's amazing.
Yeah, the catalepsy one he helped us with, and I think Float Face Down as well.
Yeah, I think
both of those.
I could be wrong, but
he's the one who put us in contact. He's always rooting for us. He's always shouting us out and stuff. Well, I mean, he shouted me again at that Blind Witness show.
Which is insane.
In the fucking crowd and Body Snatcher were playing. This song goes out to Dom from Brutality podcast. I was like,
that's insane.
Oh no.
That's insane. That's really and I think he even shouted my channel in an interview too. Like he's awesome. I think you sent me that. Like you're like, hey. So no, Cal is like you don't have
real tacos. He was talking about it. Yeah.
He's like, you couldn't, like, he's just real and I didn't hear in my life one bad thing about Cal. I don't think I will.
He's a fucking he's a fucking sweetheart, man. I love really good vocalist too. I love me some Kyle. Jamie Hanks, that was really cool to do.
Important one too.
Again, I think just like such an iconic iconic vocals. Alex Tayan, I mean that
very
one,
special.
I mean, he hadn't done anything since Black Tongue stopped releasing music too, so that was kind of the whole thing, people wanting to know if they were going to put out more music or not and shit. But I mean, there was a lot of hype for that one
Yep.
I remember a lot of people showing up for the live stream for that as well, and that's one of our better viewed episodes as well.
Knows you're right. The Jason one was quite emotional per moment, and it was a really cool one too.
Yep.
I was in the moment, even kind of emotional per part. If you watch carefully, you're gonna see that I'm getting emotional as he's talking. So yeah, it was a really important one. I think it was cool, and we love. I mean, we Call of Glass and everything. So yeah.
Salem's the goat.
Oh,
Absolute
Salem,
goat.
yeah, awesome, really cool. Jake, I mean, having Jake, I mean, I know he's the homie, but like Jake, to me, to talk about Otherwise My Rise and Carnifex and everything, shout out Jake. That
was a dope interview. That was really interesting. He, the Jake interview was really cool because I think again in the kind of the general idea of like stuff from the MySpace era that was fucking huge, you know, but never kind of not relevant today, you know, but like for those who were there, you remember for sure. Like Jake is one of those dudes, right? So it was cool to hear about stories from back then and kind of go through the band's history and everything else has been doing. But I mean, Jake's a cool ass fucking dude, so that was awesome. And it's same kind of conversation for Jared actually.
Oh
because he really kind of laid out he took notes. He came prepared on explaining the entire history of him within the band and stuff like that. So that was really fucking cool. This motherfucker fucking
that's insane.
Coulter James from Killing of a Sacred Deer, who for sure was already a part of Psycho Frame at this point, but didn't tell us about it.
And we talked about Psycho Frame, if I remember.
About Psycho Frame, and he was praising Psycho Frame for then a few months later for him to be to be announced as the vocalist. Is like that motherfucker.
I don't think he was steaming though during the.
He wasn't stimming. He wasn't stipping. No, yeah.
It might be new. It might be
a new thing. Yeah, I think maybe we caused that.
In which was sick. I love
in which divides us. The young goats. We stand in which divides us. We love in which divides us over here.
And it for sure. I mean, dear God. And I've been almost annoying with the promotion about In Which for a while. People were just like, dude, you're aware there's other bands? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, by the way, important one, because I think it was her highest attendance in terms of numbers.
1,000%. That was our biggest stream we've had.
Over 100 people, I think.
Ever. Yeah. That was our peak. we peaked with them.
We did.
Okay, look, we got like 4 minutes and 50 episodes. Let's just really hone in on like
Dickie.
Dickie Allen. I mean, cool. Ben Dewar was cool for sure, but like Dickie, I mean, such an iconic fucking dude for deathcore in general, right? And for him to be able to talk about Infant Annihilator and all this shit.
You have to like him too. You have to love that guy. I mean, come on. Dan Watson. I have to mention Dan Watson. And I do. We just have a few minutes real quick. He was telling about his dad being like doing I'm gonna call it like Christian missions, like he would pass the words, and in my mind I kind of heard that he was doing like The Conjuring. He would like do exorcism and stuff like that. So like I look so stupid because I'm like, I thought his dad was like casting demons and stuff like that, and he's just like, dude, no, he was just talking about religion. And it was kind of funny, but to this day, one of my favorite guests still, Dan Watson. Like I'm just gonna say that.
Taylor in chat saying the Danny P was probably my favorite. It was a genuinely refreshing and really cool fucking conversation. That dude was like so like real. You know, he was just unapologetically just himself and so down to earth. So
I'm telling you right away. Sure. I don't care if it's another concept or anything. He's gonna have to be back at some point. I don't like. It was so fun. It was so cool.
He's dropping some new music soon.
Need to write to him, but yeah.
Let me just come up here. Yeah. Nick Arthur. Hadn't. That's another one that hadn't really done any interviews in the longest fucking time. So talking about all the old Molotov Solution stuff was really fucking cool. His time in Die Art for a bit, replacing as well. Alex Koehler. you got to talk on Alex Koehler for a second.
Okay, Alex Koehler. Okay, so again, because I know still we have more people than usual, but like the first Chelsea Green EP, I'm still talking about it. I mean, like it's you don't see it properly, but like it's right there twice on my wall. It's to me, it's one of the best EPs ever ever made next to Infinite Debt, and it's so good. And Alex Koehler, I did a reel recently about that. Like Alex Koehler is my top two. It was like Mitch and then Alex Koehler for me. So to be able to not only connect but to have an entire episode talking to him and him talking about leaving Chelsea and all he went through and everything was just it was blowing my mind. And since I love the dude, I'm just gonna say it, he's a streamer on Twitch. If you like Alex or what he did or whatever, he's like streaming and he talks about it. So like a little plug for Alex, because I love the dude, and he gave us so much in that interview. He basically everything, the whole thing. And still to this day, I think those clips and everything related to him did extremely well.
Oh yeah, our top performing things have pretty much been Alex Koehler.
And he's been nothing but nice to us and made sure that it would work. And he's shouting us out all the freaking time. Like, so Alex, like, loved that dude. And it was and I couldn't shut up about it too, right? I kept telling you, like, I cannot believe it. Same thing. I mean, it's going to be a similar thing here. Like you can talk about it, but like Brendan, I mean, it was a big deal.
Okay, again, for me, like if there's anything we can do with the podcast, it's stuff like this, man. Like that's the stuff. Like Brandon Butler has basically never done an interview ever, even less so, has not done any interviews since leaving Veil of Maya. 10 years later, hops on a podcast with us to go through his time in Veil of Maya.
Nice.
Dude, what a cool ass fucking dude too, right? And to talk about his time leaving the band, getting kicked out and all this stuff, and being very vulnerable with us about that whole thing. So to me, those are kind of like the episodes that I cherish the most. Like because someone like Brandon has no like reason to. There's no need for him to do our podcast, like
nope,
at all.
And
like,
I thought he wouldn't at first.
He doesn't gain like I don't know how to say, like he doesn't gain anything by doing our podcast, right? Like he's not like shouting out a new band. He's not like doing the media run for any new music or any new thing he's doing. He's
just
like,
giving, basically.
Just giving. There's nothing kind of like in return for him there. So for someone like him to trust us enough and to be so vulnerable and to share so much with us, this was one of the cooler moments for me personally.
And to me, to be able to just tell him that I cared about his era and it was about it for me, above it I was happy to be able to say that, because like just for context, also we talked with him. His mind was blown that people even cared about his era specifically. He was like, oh really? Like so I was glad that our community and us could just tell him, dude, you're a big deal in our community. So there was that as well. So there you go.
Buried by the Ocean, Michael. That was a cool one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was again in the concept of kind of legends from back in the day. Like that was like a cool a
bit like Belie My Burial type thing. Like
like bands that popped the fuck off for a short amount of time, fucking disappeared. And then, and we're able to talk about those things specifically, and that blew up back then.
It was also, without going into this too much, it was my very first video on my channel, and he's the first one who trusted me. Like, he's the first one. Yeah. I'm sending like the most random Instagram message, and he's like, let's do it. And that dude, just after talking to me, showing him the final version of the video, he told me, I believe in what you do. I think you're going to go far, dude. Honestly, it's a cool concept. He told me that, first person to tell me that. So shout out to him.
Shout out Mike.
And his dog. His dog is amazing.
And his dog's fucking awesome. Yes. I really, really fucked with the Misericordiam interview.
It was so fun, dude. It was so interesting too. Like, oh yeah, the blast too. It was insane.
And
It
look,
was really cool.
recency bias, but the fucking Boris the Blade one was fucking awesome, man. That dude was
Oh,
fucking
dude.
cool as shit, man.
Laughing the whole time to I want to shout out because it's the end, but I want to shout out Alex. Love that person from Melancolia.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Alex the G. Like,
love that person.
Love
that person.
We're keeping up. We gotta keep up with Alex, because that kid's going places, man.
So incredible. And just I mean, just the whole time I was like, he's so cool, like so nice as a person. Yeah. So it was awesome. We did it. I mean, we did it. We're super, we went through it. Super. Look,
it took
late,
twice as long as needed. Well, not as needed, but as we intended. But we're here for it. Before we start answering questions, my question to you guys: what was your guys' favorite episode that we've done so far? I'm genuinely curious, because it's easy for us to, we're biased on which bands we enjoy and what relationships we've had and stuff with the different people and
extremely
being a part
biased.
of it, but extremely biased. But I'm curious if you guys have any favorite episodes. Curious to hear. Just a quick second to talk about the sponsor of today's episode, Indie Merch Store. Indie Merch Store is your #1 spot for officially licensed band merchandise. Recently, they just dropped some pre-orders for the upcoming Peeling Flesh album, PF Radio 2, which includes CDs, t-shirts, a wall flag, as well as a limited vinyl variant. They also recently dropped a full summer merch line for Shadow of Intent. Got a black dye t-shirt design, board shorts, dad hats, slides, girl shorts, and more. All this over at indiemerchstore.com. Speaking of summer, the huge summer tank top drop is still going strong with throwback designs from a bunch of awesome bands like The Red Chord, Dance Club Massacre, Waking the Cadaver, and more. You can use code BRUTALITY at checkout for 10% off your entire order. And yes, this includes pre-order items and stuff that's already on sale. Again, that's code BRUTALITY at checkout for 10% off. Big thank you to Indie Merch Store for sponsoring the podcast. Now back to the show. Let's do some AMA.
Yeah, I mean, you can start if you want.
I had a priority questions AMA thread for subscribers in Discord. So I'm going to go through a couple of these real quick, because I want to for sure get to these. The first one, Low Point asks us, what gives you the right and who do you think you are?
I'm Toby. So that's my answer to that. I'm Toby. That's my answer. What's yours?
Who do you think you are? I'm just a dude. I'm just a guy.
Oh no! Can I recheck my answer? I'm a poser.
Sure. Yeah, poser. There we go. Okay. Real ones know. I guess the next one, Liquid is asking us, who is your daddy and what does he do?
Dear God. So oh my God, it's going to be a complicated answer.
We're kind of joking here. We don't need to do seriously.
Perfect. Because we're going to get deep here if we do that. Okay, perfect. Like for another time. I mean, community night, maybe. Who knows?
Hogman JC says, he asks, what's been the best /fave part of hosting and doing the pod? And do you all see yourselves doing 100 more of these? We kind of already answered some of the best or favorite stuff, but I don't know. Do you have like one?
Yeah, like it's going to be like favorite? It's going to be a kind of a boring answer though, but because I'm not specifically answering that, and it's going to be cheesy, but like my favorite part about all of this is I started all of this alone and it feels alone even if I like it, but being able to find someone who think we're different but we have the same values, and so my answer is going to be boring, but like all of it being with you is like my favorite fucking thing. It's a Michael Scott answer, but that's really what it is. That's really what it is. Like, and I told you already, but that's really how I feel. Like every single time I log in, and we joining, and it's just kind of part of it's a routine now. It's just like cool, like we're doing this tonight. Like I'm stoked every time. So that's my that it's a boring answer, but you said what gives you the right. I'm taking the right. That's I have the right to say that.
Do you see yourself doing 100 more?
Easy. Like not kidding, like easy. Like I see myself doing 1,000 more. So
yeah, I feel like we started just yesterday, so I don't really see the extra. I didn't see the 100 fly by. So if they fly by like that again, I mean, sign me up for a few more.
Yep, I see myself seeing like let's do 1,000 more, right? So
ready for episode 666. Okay.
Needs to be something like, you know what I mean? It needs something really like in the spectrum, like Rose for Nero. You know what I mean? Like something like super in tune with that.
Properly summon a
half
demon
of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, there's like one Ben who's not on that, so it's kind of, should be kind of easy. So yeah. What about? I mean, well, yeah, you just answer. So we will answer. But maybe you have a specific. Do you have a specific thing though? Because my answer was boring, but
it's hard. I mean, dude, that Garza one was really
yeah. I
cool
think I think that's the first.
I've had a few others that like come close, but like that one to me, I always kind of look back on that one. That was a real, and especially it was super early on too. The way it happened, how the conversation went. I don't know, man. It was just such a fun, just a fun interview to do.
But like my answer was boring, but I do have to say though, it's like Chris Garza, and for me it's Chris, Alex Koehler, and Dunn kind of all equal in terms of just like I couldn't believe it. That I'm gonna say that like because my answer was boring, but there you go.
Yeah. I've got Brandon from Villa Maya in that realm too. Those are all really cool.
We just couldn't believe it, you know, that was happening. So.
Who had the most brutal set you've seen live, and what made it so brutal?
I think it has to be the show with like Abacab and like Ocean. It was, if I remember properly, Chelsea Green came here, but Alex couldn't, which was a bummer. But then Adam from Oceano took his spot.
Oh shit!
And that's, I mean. That's something, and I do want to give it to that, but I do have to mention Despice Icon is something else. Like honestly, Despice Icon live is a whole experience in itself. It's so good and flawless and brutal. It's hard to explain, but it's the whole thing. Like Despice Icon and their move and it's. You know, just insane. So I'm kind of gonna say that because I was looking through my memories.
Shows from back in the day when they originally called it quits.
I missed that, and I digged in my memories because I was always I told you that I was on the fence of like, did I see Suicide Silence Prime or did I? And recently I talked to a friend and that was the biggest bummer. I was about to, and something happened. I was like this close to go, and I don't remember what happened. So I could unfortunately never, because that would be top one for sure. But I don't think I could.
I saw that Architects, Suicide Silence, Beneath the Massacre, and Immure tour.
Dear God, I didn't see that. Wish I did.
I mean, brother.
I wish I could.
And I mean, which kind of leads to, you know, for me, I think like most brutal band I've seen, like Beneath the Massacre, man, like they're just like on another level. I've been fortunate enough to play a few shows with them back in the day, and have seen them a few other times outside of that.
Yeah.
And dude, I've mentioned this before on the show, but the first time I saw Beneath the Massacre, they played Nevermore to start the set. The song with like, it's the breakdown that's super fucking long and super slow, and it's twice in the song. It's basically just that. They started the set with it, and they ended the set with it too. They played it a second time at the end of the set, and it was like, it was just the most brutal fucking thing I had ever heard. And especially back then, like I was still kind of just getting into deathcore at that point. They weren't supposed to play that show. They were like replacing a band on that show, and I almost didn't go because I don't remember exactly who the band who was supposed to play was, but that's like the band I wanted to see. Like two of the touring bands like weren't making it, and Beneath the Basket were one of the bands replacing. And I'll just always remember, like I can picture the set in my brain.
And for the suicide thing, it's like I'm still, and because I was so young, like I was like 16, 17. So like there's a part, and at this point, dude, the problem with me is with my channel, I've watched it's so confusing to know if like it's a memory or if it, so it's I'm on the fence if I did. I know there was one time I was literally crying because I couldn't, and it was right next to me. Like the venue, it was like, and I couldn't. But then I remember that. But I'm on the fence because I might have later on and stuff, because I went through a shitload of things, and I was young, and to be honest with you, not the best habits in life at that moment. So I don't, you know what I mean? I kind of miss moments. But I can tell you something though. If I did, there's no way anything could top is, you know what I mean? Like there's no, I keep talking about it, but I don't see how you could top that. I don't feel like you can top Mitch's performance. I don't think it's doable. Never saw a single video of him not going all out, like ever, like not once. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I saw.
They were dope there. I saw them in a festival setting too, and they fucking killed it. I mean, I
never. You know what I regret too? Never saw Muir, man. Always wish I did.
Oh.
I never saw Muir.
I saw Muir then. That was 2008, so it was still like kind of early days for them in terms of like material wise.
That must be sick. So, I mean, we're talking.
Yeah.
We're talking, they were at their second with like the Respect issue, right? In 2008 about to drop it.
And Architects, like 2008 too. We're talking Hollow Crown too. So like that
was a show.
Silence 2008. Like that was No Time to Bleed era. So it was just it was a dope lineup. It was a dope fucking show.
Because Respect issue to me, it's still one of the most underrated shit from it's so good.
Sure. But you also know that they're gonna, they were also playing earlier stuff because
which is even more insane.
They weren't just gonna be playing Respect issue. So yeah, I mean,
which is perfect.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay. Something
next.
Favorite non-deathcore album in your rotation right now?
Oh, Psycho Frame. No, I'm kidding. Well, we said they're not technically. Let me think. Does it have to be an album though, or it can be just something you're listening?
Just whatever. There's no rules, man.
I've been listening to the new Belmont singles quite a lot. Personally, you guys remember I'm a poser, so that's kind of what I've been listening to. And if not, you know what's the weird thing? It's not weird, but like I went back at the skate shop, I love putting just like an album, but like an old album, and just like revisit it, because very often you listen 2-3 songs from an artist from back then, but like you don't really listen to the album. So I've put one of the first Fall Out Boy, with Sugarware and everything, that album, and I realized that like there's a lot of tracks that I prefer to Sugarware. Like I actually prefer the other songs on it. So sure. I've been listening to that quite a lot. So I would say that and Belmont. What about you?
The Home Team for me, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you showed me that. It's sick.
That's like, yeah, that's the band that I really fuck with right now. That's not deathcore specific. I'm kind of just scrolling through my recent stuff I've added to Spotify, and I'm scrolling pretty fucking far down before I find anything that's not deathcore or super heavy. But this is no secret also, I love Ariana Grande, so she's constantly in the rotation as well. So those would be the two.
I have to mention though, there's this new metal band that's kind of like recent, like not that early 2000, but and I think it's Ben Mason who told me about that on the show. But Split Chain, still listening to that.
Hell yeah.
To this day, like very often.
We mentioned them, yeah.
I listen to, like, I don't even pick something. I go on the artist and I just play everything on shuffle, and I love everything they did. So Split Chain is absolutely incredible. And in terms of album, before we wrap that up, obviously Blink-182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I'm looking at the albums right now. The Young and the Hopeless from Good Charlotte, because they made a comeback. I went back to one of their first things, and Infest by Pepper Roach with Last Resort and everything.
There we go.
So that would be it.
So Pat's asking, how come Yanni Too Dope still can't speak proper English? Now for my serious question, if if there was a deal on the table, would you, the two of us, start a band together?
I mean, like, I cannot, I mean, sure. It would be a weird compromise. It would be super techie, and then it would be super stupid. I think that would be kind of the compromise. No, but seriously, that would be kind of it. It would be like, and then it would go into like the simplest like thing. But I would have a blast, because we're so different in what we do that I think it would make it interesting, because like we love both. I mean, it's hard to explain, because we also love what the other person love, but like our main thing and the way we do things is really different. So I feel like it would be a special thing.
I think it's more so like the kind of band that you want to make and the type of band that I want to make aren't similar at all. I guess that's the thing, right? And then starting a band is a very vague thing that can mean, what, like, yeah, we could put out a song, or that probably implies other people as well, if
but not probably, because if we want to do
the techie anything technical or whatever, so
nothing like that.
It's all that stuff, and everyone has their different goals. I'm in no rush to be like in a band, but he says if there was a deal on the table. See, that's ambiguous too. What does that mean? We're being paid to be in a band together? Hey, sign me up.
Let's do it. I mean, being paid at all to do music is quite something. So for sure, but it would be interesting. I mean, just in terms of styles, and like like to go from like a techie thing to like a slammy shit within it. You know what I mean? Like it would be so special. But like yeah, I would enjoy that for sure. I mean, like we already have it. We know for a fact that we're a good team and we work super well together, and there's no ego, which is kind of a really good formula to work in music, and that. So the people have been clamoring for it. I'll say that much. Makes sense. I mean, it does make sense, but
Canada.
It would be,
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, but it would be really eclectic. It would be all over the place for sure.
It would have to be. It would have to be. Yeah. So Nose is asking best tour lineup you could imagine.
Oh, that's difficult. Oh my god. I'm guessing deathcore, right?
Just whatever.
Blink-182 with Psycho Frame. No, but oh my god. It would have
just Psycho Frame 5 times in a row.
I would say, what I would love very much? Psycho Frame headlining tons of revival stuff that we love, like seeing like Psycho Frame and then like Without a Face, that like all those bands that I'm tripping on, like Reverend, all those, like a tour that it's like the new coming of the revival, but Psycho Frame leading the whole thing. I think I would pay like $1,000 to see that.
See, I'm gonna see Psycho Frame, but with like Despised Icon, Suicide Silence,
just put them over and do like, the same.
Yeah, that's my kind of lineup. I just want some super techie, fast bullshit with bring back the Red Shore, throw that on the bill, and then have Psycho Frame on that too. I want those boys to be touring with the biggest bands in the world, man. That's what I hope.
For me, put Waking on the, it needs some Waking and Cadaver in it. But I'm going to tell you something, though. I realized recently there's a lot of stuff that I would put on, but tons of bands, I love their early era. So seeing that, you know what I mean? Like it's more of, I love what they did back then.
Bands haven't been doing like, the reunion sets or the 20 years of sets like the rest of the world has been doing.
So that's kind of, you know, why I don't, you know, that's why I
Right,
said like the
if
revival.
like Suicide Silence does like a 20 years of the cleansing and plays the cleansing in full, you know, that type of shit. We need more of that out of deathcore bands.
Could
Oceano kind of
happen.
did that before they broke up. That's true. That's true.
I mean, in Melancolia, Asking did that in the Vents, and it was great. No, but it's you know, it's sorry, Danny, but it's you know, I think it would do well. But we talked about this, but imagine how cool it would be, like bands that are not a band anymore, but then they do like a tour of like reviving, like for one tour, like things that are gone. That would be so sick, like old school.
Yeah.
Shit, that would be so
just
incredible.
bring back a bunch of old ass
I don't
bands.
see that happen. It's less than unlikely, but that would be great.
Okay, last couple. These are from Low Point, and then we'll jump back and forth between
Who's
some
that?
stuff. I don't know who that is. If you could build a MySpace top 5 friends list with only bands, who's on it? What's your profile song?
You cannot ask me that, though. I don't think you can ask me that. Not with the relationship we've built and how you cannot ask me that. I don't think you can. It's because, dear God. 5 on top of that. I mean, 8, I would be like, okay, maybe I can figure out something. 5, it's really difficult. Go, you can go first. I'm gonna try.
Well, I mean, the top friends list is kind of like homies, right? So it's gotta just be homies. I don't got many homies no more outside of this podcast thing.
No, but like bands that we have good relation. I think that's the question. Like people that we have good relationships with.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd put like Tracheotomy. I'd put In Which Divides Us. I'd put Body Snatcher. Maybe throw in Blind Witness. More local. Despised Icon. Kind of be the shouts. Oh, I mean, Psycho Frame. Yeah, Psycho Frame
needs to be first.
yeah.
Like, it would be, for me, it would be Psycho Frame.
Sorry, for me, there's like Angel Maker for sure, Psycho Frame for sure.
I have a different list, though, except Psycho Frame. For me, it would be Psycho Frame. It would be Psycho Frame. It would be I Saw God. I'm really close with those guys. It would be Without a Face, because literally Kevin became one of my really good friends. Like we talk every day almost. I just bought a few Xbox 360 games and I sent him a picture and he's like, you need to play with me Gears of War, because I've been playing Gears of War quite a lot. Getting back into it. Great game, by the way. So sick. So is my okay? No, I'm good. So okay, yeah. So Psycho Frame. I Saw God, Without a Face, In Which Divides Us. Oh dear God. I'm gonna say Waking has to be there for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna say Reverent, because like
that's who I was gonna shout for you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, we have this kind of, you know, they really say like we love you. You know what I mean? We're really close. I'm gonna say Reverent, but it's difficult for me because I feel like at this point I'm kind of the person. Not that I feel like I'm like their brother or something, but I feel like I'm so behind the freaking in everything that I do that I love a lot of people. I could have said like Liz Demise. I could have said like we're close with a lot of these people. Like we not close, but like we're, you know, like we're
yeah,
you know,
we're rooting for a lot of people.
Yeah, so that's, you know, and there's a lot of people that we talk and I'm like, wow, you know, and after this tonight I'm gonna be like, I didn't say that, I should have said that, you know what I mean? So it's a difficult one. Top 8 would have been fair a little bit, but okay.
I know. What's your profile song? It's gotta be he's gotta be Awaken the Cadaver song for you for sure.
Yeah, it would be but it doesn't work because it didn't release it in the MySpace era, the one I mean it's kind of, we're just playing.
It's a today thing.
It would be, yeah, that question broke, and it did. It's like picking my favorite child. Like it's horrible for me to do that. I'm gonna say it would be Civic Assault. I don't know if you know this. It's the first song of the album we keep saying is underrated, the pink one. It's the first one. The end of that, I think, listening to it on repeat all week in my car for no reason. So I think that would be the song at the moment for me. What's yours though?
I mean, I put a
Gonna be
profile song
Psycho Frame?
on our Instagram. Nah, it's Nailed Dead Risen by Impending Doom, because it's just such a badass start to a song. You know, the profile song is perfect for that. Press play and it's just
And it
fucking
represents deathcore very well too.
Yeah.
I think that song, like, it's fair to say it's a really...
People are taking shots every time we mention Psycho Frame now. Just saying.
Oh, well, take shots. I mean, that's... I'm going to mention them.
People are going to be blackout drunk by the end of this thing.
I mean, but for me, it would be so funny. If I had a MySpace profile now, it would basically be a giant ad for all those bands. That would be my MySpace. But it would be like, check out Reverend. Like, you know, like it would be like, you would check my page and it's just...
Yeah, it would be as your Instagram is right now. It'd be the same thing.
Yeah, kind of. No, but you would see literally like the flyers, and I would be like, oh, all those. It would be like long, so long. You know what I mean? And my top 8 would be like a mess. But yeah, I miss MySpace.
Okay, last one from Low Point. Then we switch to you. If you could interview any non-musician, actor, athlete, celebrity, etc., who would it be and why?
Non-musician?
That's hard.
Anyone?
Yeah.
The problem is that it would be very selfish because like he's a YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like it would be more of for me.
Why are you thinking about these things? That's okay. That there was no rules.
No, but it's kind of selfish because we're two. So it's kind
that's the point. It's a question for you. you choose anyone you want. No.
Okay, and I'm assuming it has to be someone who didn't pass away or anything because my answer is going to be extremely obvious. So I think it would be maybe Mr. Beast in terms of like I've been watching. Really? Not kidding.
That surprises me. Okay.
Yeah, maybe because I've been watching a lot of his podcast and like
he's the same goddamn thing every podcast.
That's why
he doesn't have more than 2 sentences in him.
That's why.
But why would you want to interview a guy like that? Because don't think he's gonna give a different answer for you.
Okay, so then it would be someone else. Because for me, my mindset,
I'm just saying.
because my mindset would be every question that I have in mind, they never talk about that, and I'm really curious. So that's why I'm saying Mr. Beast. But you guys, I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if he's controversial or anything. It's very simple. I'm a YouTuber. He's the best of all YouTubers. That's as simple as that. Don't try to. It's not like I'm not endorsing shit or whatever. I'm just saying he's very knowledgeable in those things. So I would be curious to ask, you know, things that I never hear, because as you said, I'm not kidding, I've watched all the things with him and it's the same answers I got every time. So I would be very curious, but as you said, maybe you wouldn't, but there are no rules.
I think it would probably make for a, who knows,
but there are no rules. So in that context, I could ask anything I want. So maybe him.
Yeah,
because they said outside of music, I had people outside of deathcore, but it's boring as an answer.
I just candidly, I think his answers would be boring as shit. I think he doesn't say anything else because he has nothing else to talk about.
Oh, come on, sure.
Yan, you've heard him talk enough for you to realize how YouTube is his only thing, and the only thing he thinks about, and the only thing there's
no. But they ask all the same shit though. Most of the time.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think that guy has much of a personality outside of that. I genuinely think that.
But he knows stuff though that I would genuinely be curious about. Specific YouTube things that I didn't hear him talk about that I would be curious, because he's the best at it. So I would be really curious. And by the way, guys, I said that simply because I'm in a row right now watching all his interviews. So I would be curious to do a different interview with him is my answer. A very different one, you know. Ask him about deathcore, and I'm kidding. No, but it would be boring. It would be like, I don't know what that is. But could it be in music? Because if it's in music but not deathcore, but I think he said not a musician, right?
Some sort of celebrity, some sort of person that's not someone we would ever have on the show, theoretically speaking.
Because I don't, honestly, genuinely, outside of music, I don't follow celebrities really. Like,
No,
I don't.
me neither. It's really
Oh,
because I'm thinking about my answer and I honestly don't fucking know.
I just realized I'm changing my answer. It would be a pro skater. That's what it would be. That's what it would be.
Do you have one in mind? Who's like a favorite pro skater of yours?
It would be either. It's difficult for me to answer because the Nine Club is so good at what they do that I don't think I would do like better than them in an interview. But for the sake of it, it's also I'm setting myself up. I would I think I might have to say Rodney Mullen because I mean he's the fucking creator of skateboarding in general, the tricks, but also because I don't know if you heard him talking, but me and that person talking about spirituality would never end.
Nah, Rodney would be dope. Anyone interviewing Rodney would be a dope interview for sure.
So, and I'm super open about anything he's saying and stuff. So it would be so positive and super like, so I think we would have like a blast. So I'm gonna say Rodney. But the list is so lot of people. Like I love D1 song is like one of my favorite. There's so many people. It makes me laugh. I don't know if you watched the episode with D1, like on the Nine Club. I was laughing the whole time. Because like he's like he's like shy of like his beginning, so he's like, please don't play that shit. Like it's so funny. Yeah. And he's not taking any credit on anything. But people are saying Bam Margera. It would be interesting for sure. But yeah, so it's also difficult for me to pick, but yeah, I said Rodney. I'm gonna stick with Rodney, because it's never gonna end. I could say we're so many skaters that I like, but it's not serving the question very well. So Mr. Beast was just in terms of knowledge because I'm hungry to learn and get better at what I do. So it was strictly for that. And I did interview my two biggest inspiration in YouTube, so I was like, let's pick on the best. PewDiePie would have been funny though, but yeah. It would be funny, right? He's a funny, like he changed his style quite a bit, but I genuinely believe he's a brilliant person.
Yeah, I don't care what people have to say about PewDiePie. I'm a PewDiePie fan.
And I think for what it's worth, I think he's a brilliant person too, like a very clever person. And I think it would be interesting. So I'm saying that as well. It's special as a question because when you have a show, you don't really think about, because it's our show, like we're doing our show, so I don't really think, who would I like? It's just I never think about these things. But
well, for me, it's like we're so ingrained in what we do here, and you with the with your channel and all that. That's kind of most of our world, right? So for me, trying to think like outside of this sort of stuff, I'm like, what are even my other interests,
But it's fun. It's weird. It's a good question. Who do you think I'm gonna say? Key PD. Like one of my answer. Just try to guess, people. Like just try to guess. Just try to guess. If you guys can't guess that, I don't understand. I understand nothing, to quote Michael Scott. So but I'm curious though. I'm really curious about you.
So that's kind of thing, right? Like outside interest is kind of like there's not a ton. I'm pretty big into just people streaming video games and stuff like that. That's kind of like my world outside of music. So it'd probably just be like a streamer. One of the streamers I think is fucking hilarious is this guy called Squeaks. He like
what kind of
Mario 64 speedruns is kind of like his thing, but he's more of like he does variety gaming ultimately, and he's like kind of ingrained in the speedrunning community, but he's like very much someone who collaborates with a bunch of people and plays a bunch of random fucking games, but he's just a hilarious person. Like it's the entertainment more than anything else. I think he's the funniest fucking dude. So yeah, that'd be my answer for sure. It would have been like either someone in like gaming or streaming, or that's
maybe we're gonna have a sideshow someday.
Yeah, gonna do a Halo It's a Halo sideshow.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I also want your answer on what they ask if you can bring back two people that are dead.
Oh, bring back people?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's like an anti-Dom question, man. I don't.
Well, I would be surprised if you don't say Trevor from back there. I would be very surprised. That was my pick for you. Maybe not.
I mean, yeah, Trevor and Mitch, probably like the two, right? I think that would be. Yeah, it's got to be Trevor and Mitch. I'm bad with remembering this sort of stuff, though. I may probably.
And it's also because we lost a lot of people too, right? That's the other. Like, there's quite a lot of, unfortunately.
The dead stay dead. Yeah,
the dead stay dead. Yeah, he's more really. I'm more thinking about that stuff than for sure.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not super like necessarily like nostalgic or like looking back on this sort of stuff. So,
if people didn't guess that Mitch is in, I don't understand what you're doing in general. If you didn't know that I would pick Mitch, but second, you might be surprised. I think I would maybe say Joey from Slipknot though. Like like honestly, I think I would say Joey from Slipknot. Not only in terms of skills and everything, but like I've watched tons of interviews and shit. Like his vision, it was so real, and he loves his fans so much. Like really down to earth. So Joey was, I would pick Mitch and Joey for me personally. So it was a good question, by the way. Those are good questions, like so far. So do you want me to maybe?
Yeah, let's hop into some of yours, man.
All right. I love this one. So what was the first band that got you into deathcore? You could start. I know we might have said in the past, but I mean, we're here.
Yeah. I think it's a cool question. So I don't remember the specific band. I mean, shout out Baker. Baker's in here. I know he's in here. But he sent me a fucking SoulSeek link of all his music, and he shouted out a few death metal bands and a few deathcore bands. And it was like, I don't know, like stuff like Devourment and Cephalic Carnage was like in the more, I think Decapitated were like some of the kind of like death metal bands. And it was like early, I mean, the typical stuff, I guess, Suicide Silence, Whitechapel, Job for a Cowboy. Those are like kind of some of the early ones that I kind of remember, but that
started really, well.
I mean, that kind of really set me off into then looking up these bands on MySpace and finding a shit ton of music through that afterwards. I kind of like opened my eyes to it, but that was like the first time that I was hearing anything that was like that. I had been listening to maybe more post-hardcore, emo, like that sort of stuff. That was my scene, and was kind of thrown into death metal, early deathcore when that stuff was happening. But this must have been like 06, 07, so still like early days for a lot of those bands. But yeah, those were kind of the first deathcore bands, sense. At least. Yeah,
makes sense. Okay, for me, I know I said it before. For me, first really deathcore thing that I heard was Pray for Plagues by Bring Me.
I'm pretty sure that was in there too, actually.
And I was hooked the second I heard like the build up to the breakdown and everything, because I was already, just for context, I was already listening to like early Divorce Preda. I already knew I loved breakdown. I was listening to early A Day to Remember, so I love that stuff. But first time I would hear something maybe heavier or darker, and I was just like, what? Because my best friend at the time, he was all about old school Bring Me and stuff. And then, Suicide Silence made a miracle. And because at first I just wanted breakdowns and riff, didn't care much about blast beats. But when I heard Mitch on something, I was like, I have to love this. Like, I'm going to listen to blast beats now, I guess, type thing. That's kind of what happened. Because it was too good not to. I was like, it's insane. And then when the breakdowns would hit, I was like, holy shit. So it started with Prefer Plagues, and then what happened was also my friend he was introducing me to everything. So he showed me like the Doom EP, showed me like all that, and I was just like, what is going on with these things. Showed me Waking, and I was just like, because Waking was kind of early too. I discovered them not too, and it was sick. Of course, Despise Icon. I bought a CD without knowing what Despise Icon even was. I just saw the logo. I bought one of their first EP, like not EP, but like one of their first CD. I was like, that's so sick. And then I was just, I just wanted. And a bit later on, the biggest I was hooked was like Chelsea Green EP around 2008, and Infinite Death just changed like I was just like, okay, that I want more of this. So that was kind of my evolution in it. But I went from you mentioned like Slam and like I don't know, like the environment and stuff like that. I really came in from like the Worst Preda, Bless the Fall. I was more in that kind of thing. And
me, it was that death metal stuff came at the same time as deathcore, right? So for me, it was the same thing. It was still like that. I don't know, like Bullet for My Valentine to now listening to deathcore.
Alex is on fire, all that.
That was my shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trey was like probably the screamiest thing I listened to.
Same. I remember the first time I tried screaming, believe it or not, was on freaking Silverstein. So there you go. Those streams.
The Under Oath, Silverstein. Those were kind of like the two bands I would
do you remember how you was screaming early on too? Like super weird, like yelly scream.
I've been pretty vocal about this. Silverstein screaming fucking sucks ass, man.
But it's just funny because that was my first attempt over that.
Like it's so fucking bad, man. It's dog
shit.
It's
not. Yeah, it's not. But you know what, Alex?
It's old metalcore coded. Like that's what all those vocalists sounded like back in the day. But
Yeah, no, exactly. I was listening. I don't know why I love this song.
Right back.
Sure. My song was from Silverstein. I don't know if you guys know that one, but like I think it's called Smashed into Pieces. That was like my, of course, Smile in Your Sleep too and stuff. But like Smashed into Pieces, for some reason, I really love that song a lot, and I would try screaming over it. That was kind of my first experience, was Smashed into Pieces and me trying, I guess, to sound like I'm screaming, which was that was horrible.
Alexa on Fire's Watch Out and They're Only Chasing Safety. Under Oath, those were the two that I would like non-stop do, and maybe like some Linkin Park, because that was like what I was into before listening to that sort of stuff. But those would have been like the bands that I was like I would get home from school before my mom did. My parents were divorced, and I would take that time to scream, but my mom would always walk in at some point with me screaming.
Yep. It's kind of what happened too.
It's like, my bad.
It's kind of what happened in my case. I had a huge Bless the Fall Elysia face. Both of those bands. Like I would skate. When I say my two worlds are merging, I would skate and I would listen. My playlist was like Elysia, old A Day to Remember, in the back in like Earthless and those songs. That was kind of my Bless the Fall. I loved Bless the Fall. Like I don't remember like the freaking album from Bless the Fall from back then, like with I don't remember.
Is
there Stairs? Yeah, okay, there you go. That was my record. I would be curious. It's been so long. I would be curious to how I would feel about it like
I haven't
now.
listened to those bands fucking forever. Man.
Yeah, I would be curious to know what I would think like now, but who knows? Good question. You want me to look for another one?
Yeah, shoot.
It doesn't have to be deathcore. It's just what's your favorite song now. So could be different than.
I can't answer that, man. That like changes every fucking day. It's like a mood thing. I go through. I binge songs and then I never listen to them again. I don't know. Those like top bands or favorite song or favorite band.
Yeah.
That's like I legitimately cannot tell you what my favorite band is. I don't know. I couldn't give you one. I have no fucking clue.
That I think at least I can. I know my favorite, but like I keep saying it's Bling. But in terms of songs, it's like you changes.
Like right now, all I'm listening to is the new Psycho Frame. So it's got to be a song off that, I guess, right? But that probably will, that'll be the thing for the next month at least. But that again, it like kind of constantly changes. I really
Yeah.
binge my music and then just throw it to the side. That's kind of how I consume stuff now.
Uh, Somebody asked, how long did it take to start getting traction on the podcast? I don't want to sound braggy, but it was early.
I mean,
Like,
whatever traction means, I guess, right? Like I still feel like it's not like a big thing, or like I wouldn't say it has like crazy traction today, right? So I guess it's all kind of perspective.
yeah, that's kind of true. But to me, it's like you, like I'm on both sides.
We've had
it's
love
like,
and support from the start.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll say that. You know.
Somebody, by the way, somebody asked me, will you make a part 2 of the Chelsea Gun video? For God's sake, it's the only one I made. Can you just, I made one and it's this one, like, seriously. And somebody asked me specifically, do you like the destruction of a statue riff? It's my favorite riff, period. In terms of riff, it's my favorite riff. So I'm just like blasting it. It's super easy to answer. But I love this one. Favorite video game. Boom. There you go. And you start.
No, you go. I need a second to think about this.
Okay. You know what? My answer, it's so similar to what you just said because of the depending on your mood type thing. Because like I'm playing, I just bought 10 new games. Do you remember the game Fable?
Yeah, for sure.
On an impulse, I've bought the first one, the second one, the third one.
Skyrim, right?
It would have to be Skyrim. If I choose between everything, it would probably have to be Skyrim.
It's like Halo 2 or fucking Skyrim. It has to be, right?
I don't have a choice but say Skyrim, simply because if I would be in a world, it would be Skyrim. Like, I've played so much of it, but right now I'm in this huge like Gears of War. I just finished like all, and by the way, my English might be bad, but I tried playing a French, like it's translated in French video game, and I went to the store and I paid more to switch to the English. I couldn't play it in French because I know the voice actor in those games, and I'm like, forget it. So I've bought back Reach because without even realizing it, it was in French. I'm like, there's no way. ODST. But you know, Halo has been shitting the bed for a long time. But right now I'm in this huge, like, I'm playing Gears of War 2, and I forgot about how incredible and cool that game was. So I'm glad I'm playing it back. And Kevin really want me to from Without a Face really want me to play Gears of War with him. So there's that. But yeah, top Skyrim for sure. Then I'm still gonna have to say Halo. I have all of them, but I'm gonna have to say also Tony Hawk's, dude. I'm playing a lot of Tony Hawk Underground, Tony Hawk Underground 2. Like, that's the other franchise that I'm playing a lot.
I've been playing Skate 2, man. I'm loving it.
The problem is I play session if I want something like that, so that's the problem. But
I never tapped into 2 for some reason. I played
that's
1.
To me the best
3.
one.
2, yeah, that's kind of like what I was seeing, and I was like, oh, all right. So I've been really digging it. Yep.
And thank you guys. I've seen some comments. Even Ryan earlier said that he's working with French Canadian and my accent is just fine. Yeah, there's clearly worse here, that's for sure. I'm just being conscious of it. I'm making jokes about it, but it's totally fine. But yeah, so that would be Skate 2 is the best out of the whole Skate franchise to me. Skate 4 will be the worst, but yeah, so that's it's difficult. It's another difficult question because again, we played other, depends on the era, because the question is just what's your favorite. Yeah, but like there's
like if we're talking like more recent-ish games, I really fucked with Valheim. I played a shit ton of Destiny 2. I wouldn't say it's like a favorite game, but like I played a crazy amount of hours, so it says something. I really like the vibe. But then in like older games and stuff, like Ocarina of Time is like a for sure an all-time for me. Mario 64 is fucking goated.
I was about to say
all those platformers for me, like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah,
like those.
You're naming. I have all of them. It's so funny. They're all in my living room.
People hate fucking Donkey Kong 64. I love this shit.
It.
Like I
never understood the hate on that game. Never. The game never ends. There's tons of stuff to do. The music, the ambience, everything. I never understood the hate on Donkey Kong 64 personally. It's right in my living room, and I love it so much. But you made me realize though, I'm gonna have to put Mario 64 even over Skyrim. Because that's the game of my life. I could play that it's the first game I've ever played, right? But so Mario 64 and then Skyrim is undefeated in that kind of games. But again, it's like comparing so many different, you know what I mean? Like, how do you compare like a Tony Hawk game and like Skyrim? Like, it's so
exactly.
different.
And so it's different vibes. I think the main thing for me, like I play fucking gacha games and stuff too. Like, it's just I don't play games, I guess, for the same reasons as I played games or have the same habits of playing games as when I was a kid, right? So it's just inherently different. But I played a shit ton of like fucking Honkai Star Rail and what's the other one that's not that company? The fucking goddamn. I don't know. I deleted these games because I was putting too much time into them. I've been doing this fucking Pokemon Pocket TCG. I've been on that grind. So, I don't know. I wouldn't name that as a favorite game, but that's like where I've been putting my time. I restart. My childhood game is RuneScape. Some people were mentioning RuneScape earlier. I've restarted. I
played that so much. I played that so much. I stopped because like 3 years ago, like 4 years ago during the pandemic, I went back to it. It sucked my whole life. So I was like, okay, now I'm. I grinded like crazy to have a paladin armor that's not even good just because I liked it because it was a paladin armor. That's the kind of things that I do. Like hours for something that's not even worth it. I do have to mention Pokemon because that's my only game on my Game Boy SP and I love it. I do want to buy Emerald, but it's $350 if so I'm kind of waiting on that one.
Wuthering Waves was the other gacha. I played a crazy amount of
I don't know
Waves.
These things, so I don't
they're like
know
anime
these.
like time sinkers, money sinkers if you want to. I've never put money into these things, but it's one of these like loot box anime.
I should stay away from that because I love animes and I'm spending. I should stay the fuck away from that. Oh shit, Pat is mentioning Splinter Cell. I've loved, I wouldn't say it's my top favorite, but I've replayed them and I did Chaos Theory. It's super nerdy. It's called Ghost Mode. So you play, you don't kill anyone, you don't even touch anyone, and you don't even close even the lights and everything. You just bug them. You act like no one ever saw you, and you 100% them expert. I did the entire game. And I was furious sometimes, like upset, furious, because it's really difficult, and sometimes the little thing gets you and you have to redo it. So by the way, the thing I'm talking about is like it was like a Reddit thread with like 15 people. Like it's not like a well-known the ghost mode thing. It's just like some people who like doing that. So it's not. It
kind of makes me think about Psychics is bringing up Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I remember like. I remember just on the topic of the mission stuff you're talking about, I remember Assassin's Creed 3 had these like secret missions, like these secret objectives that you would only know about once you failed them. So you would try to do something like one try and not mess it up, but they didn't tell you what the objectives were, and then you'd fail, and then it would tell you, and then you're like, fuck you, I gotta redo this thing. But like, had I known, I would have fucking done it. But if you made it to the end of this episode, thank you for watching. And hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe or follow button and a review. If you're watching or listening on a podcast platform, it would mean the world, and it helps out more than you know. A big thank you as well to all of our supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch. New episodes every week, links to our Patreon, Discord, and socials in the description. We'll see you soon. We're out.